Hey there, crew, it's Mark, and today we're going to be checking out the weekly task planner from Appointed. Got my monogram on this one with Mark Your Pages. Now, I've used the yearly task planners before, the orientation a little bit different, but the weekly task planner honestly could almost take me away from bullet journaling. It works out so perfectly. We're going to be comparing these as we go through since I have a lot of experience working inside the yearly task planner. Now, the weekly task planner, the one that I have here is kind of an offset year, starting in August and running through July. Now, they do have them currently available going January to December, which is what I think most people will usually like for their full year. But if you want something more like an academic task planner, this one works out really well. Inside of the yearly task planner, I had the same type of tabs on it for the months, which I really like a lot. It's not something that I have in a bullet journal, but love having it in a planner like this. So when we open this up, we have a 2024 and a 2025 calendar just right there in front of you. See all the dates, have space for notes or important dates or anything else that you want to write on the side. I love that it is a functional page because you have the space for notes. It's not just a big paper calendar. Our next page inside of this one has a quarterly goals section, which I really like. It's not something that a lot of planners always have. A lot of them get right into the meat and potatoes. They're like, here's your task. Get stuff done. And having this task planner helps you think a little bit more about what you want to achieve. Now let's go ahead and open up the first tab. So this is for our monthly overview. This is a monthly goal section, an important dates section, and then a larger space for notes with this large open blank square over on the bottom left-hand side for whatever you need. The bottom part of this is going to be your full calendar. So we have all of the days throughout the week. We also have a look back into the previous month and a look forward into the next month with some spaces for notes at the bottom. The one thing that I like about this task planner and this calendar overview is how much space there is. I think when you first look at it, you're like, this isn't really going to be a whole lot of space for me to write anything inside of, but I will tell you, it works really well. And this calendar page is actually what inspired me to start including calendars with my future log. I used that yearly task planner and I loved it so much for the functionality of having that calendar page, which is something that you don't always have in a future log inside of a bullet journal. But for my job, how I use my bullet journal, it just makes so much sense. And like I said, you can just write things in here real quick, create notes, extend lines for long periods of time, whatever you feel like you need to do. When we go into that weekly view, this is honestly what almost stole me away from bullet journaling. I love this setup. I love having this daily schedule view. Since I use my bullet journal for work, this would work out perfectly because I could time box things out, and I'll show you in a little bit exactly how I did that. But even more so, what I love about this weekly task planner versus the yearly task planner is just the orientation of the notes. It feels like there's a lot more space for notes on this page versus the yearly task planner that I used before. The priorities, the task, I'm sure they're all exactly the same amount of space if you were to measure it out. But there's just something about this orientation for me that I really appreciated and felt like I could really take advantage of versus the yearly task planner. And using this one for almost an entire full year was pretty incredible, but I really just didn't feel like it was doing it for me for some reason. I don't know if it was the layout or what. I just didn't feel like I had a lot of space for notes. One of the reasons I can't pull myself away from bullet journaling in my arsenal of notebooks and switch over to something like the Appointed planners all has to do mostly with the paper. This is 70-pound text weight stock paper, which means it's pretty good for your average pens. But fountain pens, anything super heavy, it's going to ghost and bleed through the pages a little bit. So I did this full page test just to kind of show you everything. I have a bunch of just fountain pens at the top. We have different type of highlighters. And on the right-hand side here, you'll see most of the ink type pens, more of your regular Sarasas, Uniball, Pentel, all of that's on there. And all of that works pretty well. Most of the trouble comes from using fountain pens with this paper, and it's just really not the thing. But all of these other pens on this other side, and it's a lot of just the more popular ones, not a problem at all. You do see a little bit of ghosting on these pages, but it is only 70-pound paper. But even the stamps work out pretty well. A lot of the marker type pens do okay on this paper too. They do show through a little bit more than the others. But to really get a good feel for it, you just have to start using the planner. And that's exactly what I did. So here's how I went about starting to use my page. The first thing I did is for that Sunday start on that page is just use some washi tape and fill in that section. And I used that box there for my capacity planning for my team that I have every single week inside of my bullet journal. And it worked out perfectly. Now, when I started to time box out the rest of the week, the first problem that I had is I used a mild liner where you see this field hockey note, and it ghosted, almost bled through the page, which is very rare, I feel like, for mild liners, but it just did not play well with this paper. So I had to switch up to a lighter, more kind of normal highlighter, I guess you could say. I used the Faber-Castell ones, and these worked just fine. So I just continued using those throughout the rest of the time inside of this planner. Now, what I really loved about this is the schedule really kind of gave me a tactical view of my calendar at work. So I was able to fill this in really nice and easily, following through my calendar to know what's up. And then that top section up here, like I said, I just felt really free and open with these notes. The tasks work the same as the yearly task planner. Having that sectioned out over here, I think is great. Having a text box is awesome. But something about this note section really made me feel like I was using it really well versus when I used that yearly task planner before. I didn't feel like I got as much function out of it, but I also think that the layout of these pages makes a big difference. Having this schedule at the bottom gave me extra room to write things down. Having the notes and the tasks at the top felt a little bit better for me. So thinking through who would benefit from the appointed task planner, honestly, anyone who needs pre-printed calendars, a schedule, these great views, but someone who doesn't like to use heavily inky pens inside of their planner. It's the only con that I can really think of for this one specifically. I love the tabs. I love the monthly overviews and calendars. I love this horizontal orientation of this, and the way the pages worked out are just perfect. Like I said, this could almost steal me away from my bullet journal notebooks for work if it just wasn't for this paper and I could use the pens that I love to use in here. It would just be so much better. But everything about this works so incredibly well. And they have different orientations. They have different colors for you as well if you want to check these out. If you think this might be something that could work for you in the new year, I'm going to drop my discount code for you and a direct link for this task planner as well as the other cool planners from Appointed down in the descriptions below. You can also use my discount code, which is Mark Your Pages, and that's going to get you 15% off your purchases from Appointed. There are so many different types of planners for you to find that you like, whether you're using this professionally, whether you're using it for school. You have different color options as well as just other good stationery items. Like, I absolutely love a lot of what they have to offer. And I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below what you think about this weekly task planner, if something like this could potentially work for you in your stack or just even as your planner for the new year. I always love taking a look at these new features to see what we like and what we might not like. But more importantly, this pen test, honestly, this is the make it or break it for me. And in this case, a little bit of a deal breaker from a standpoint of I can't use some of my favorite fountain pens in this notebook. But if you're not a fountain pen person, this is not a problem for you. You can use most of your normal pens and highlighters and everything will work well. You just have some of that ghosting, again, because it's 70-pound paper. It's not ultra thick, but for most people, that's usually not a problem with their planners. It's just because, to use Jess's words best, I'm a persnickety biscuit when it comes to pages and ghosting. If you're still looking for your new planner for the new year and you haven't found one yet, I have a whole playlist here of previous notebook reviews that I've done that you can check out to find the right one for you. I'll talk to you next time, friends. See ya.